Hello everybody, my name's Kern and I post homerecordingweekly.com. Last year, I was lucky enough to give away a Cerwin Vega CVM-1022 professional grade audio mixer. Ever since that happened, I've been dying to do a review. I have one here, I love it, and I've been using it a lot. And the day has come, I'm going to do a review. Let me start the review in telling who this thing is for. Are you a YouTube content creator that is trying to get professional grade audio into your videos? Are you trying to take multiple microphones and route them down to a stereo pair, like a drum kit or acoustic night at the club? Are you a podcaster looking for a way to do Skype interviews with ease, or maybe run many different microphones into a stereo pair and do interviews that way? I know podcasters that like to record their show live, cue the music, and do their dialogue. The Cerwin Vega CVM-1022 is perfect for all of the above. If you are a DJ, this thing is amazing. I have a personal problem, a vendetta if you will, with USB or FireWire mixers. First of all, a lot of them require their own software in order to work. And that's a problem because it's limiting with the things that you need to do in the pro audio world, and they don't perform as good. The software they come with does not perform as good as your DAW, your recording software. So that's an issue right off the bat. Also, I had one once. It was a USB mixer, and it got so hot that it would start to crackle and pop, and that worked its way into the audio that I was using it for. So it was completely worthless to me. If you find yourself with a USB or a FireWire mixer and it's not working for you, check out the Cerwin Vega CVM-1022. A lot of people ask me for advice. They're setting up their home recording studios and they want to know how should I do this, should I do that? And I say the same thing time and time again. Try not to put all of your eggs in the same basket. Try not to buy an all-in-one device. What do I mean? I mean, don't get your recorder, your effects, your compressors, your EQs, all of that, and your mixer all in the same unit. I know there's many on the market and they're getting better and better, but I'm old school, I'm old-fashioned, I guess, in this way, because if it breaks down, you have nothing. What I mean is, if your all-in-one unit breaks down, then you cannot record, you can't use it for flexible routing, you're dead in the water, and your audio has come to a stop. Whereas if you have a CD player, you have your microphones plugged into a nice desktop mixer like the Cerwin Vega CVM-1022, you have your computer doing the recording. If you have all of these, your EQ and your compression, if you have all of these separate and any one of those things goes down, you can reroute quickly, easily, and you're good to go. You can still make music or audio. That's my personal preference. That's what I think is the best way to go, and that's what I tell people. The Cerwin Vega CVM-1022 is designed to route audio in many, many flexible ways. You know, look at today's home recording studios. One day we're doing YouTube videos, tutorials, things like that. The next day we're doing podcasts and interviews, and you need to continually change your inputs and outputs and your signal flow. We need mixers. That's all there is to it. And the Cerwin Vega CVM-1022 is just awesome. Let me tell you, there's 10 inputs. There's 4 XLR, there's 2 pair of RCA ins, 1/4-inch mono and stereo inputs. Each channel has a 3-band EQ. The first 4 channels have a high-pass filter set at 75 Hertz. They have a 3-band EQ. There's 2 sends. One is auxiliary, one is effects. They work the same. And a pan. The first 2 channels are mono. The next 2 are stereo, all 4 XLR ins. You can also have the 1/4-inch mono or stereo inputs on these tracks. So that's channels 1, 2, and then you have 3, 4 as a stereo, and then 5 and 6 as a stereo. You have 2 tape inputs, and they've continued with the 3-band EQ for the next 2. So that's 6 channels of EQ. Each 6 channels has 2 different sends, and a pan, and of course your volume slider. So instead of just 4 and then you get what you get like most mixers give you for your tape in and your other RCA in and your signal effects returns and all of that, they go ahead and give you 2 more channels of EQ and effects routing, and that to me was a lot. Another selling point is the multiple outputs this thing has. You get, of course, main outs with its own independent volume, and that's important, right? That's going to amps and then to your mains, or maybe it's going to your recording interface, something like that. It's paramount that that be separate with its own volume, but also there's more. There's a headphone out and there's control room out, so you can actually have monitors up or headphones with their own volume. So there's 2 volumes for this thing. That is very handy, very well laid out and thought out, and again, it's just a selling point for this thing. One of many. There's a few. Add to that switchable 48 volts phantom power. There is a 10-band LED input meter, so you can see where your levels are at a glance from across the room. Not only is it 10-band, but it's 3 colors. The CVM-1022 is encased in a durable, tough metal housing. Mine has metal feet on it. I love the way it feels. It's solid. I reach over to turn knobs. It doesn't move on me. It stays right there. All the knobs are very smooth, very fluid working. A lot of the knobs that need to be dead center for no plus, no minus in gain, like the EQ, the pans, things like that. They all have the, the detent in the center, so you can actually center it without even looking, and that's always a nice touch, if you ask me. There is no noise. There's no hum. There's no hissle. There's no popping. When I turn the knobs, there is nothing. Again, this is professional grade stuff, but it's about $100, maybe $120 where you live. But roughly these things go for about $100. And for the amazing amount of flexible routing you can do with this, the different inputs, if you go to homerecordingweekly.com, I've got a lot of pictures up there that will help explain what I'm saying and what I'm about to tell you. Channels 1 and 2 each have a stereo effect send. It's a 1/4-inch tip ring sleeve jack, and it's in line with your input. That means you plug a microphone into channel 1, you can go back out of the board into an EQ, into a compressor or a limiter or effects unit in stereo, mind you, and back into the board. And you can do that with channel 2. Very, very handy, very well thought out, and I'm not sure how many mixers have that inline send. That's awesome. It's extremely handy because we all want compression, EQ, and some of us want limiting. I mean, we don't want a clip, and we want the best sound we can get. And especially if you're playing out on a show, a show, you need more EQ than a 3-band EQ probably, and this is a great board that will allow you to do that. In conclusion, the very handy, very well laid out, very well built Cerwin Vega CVM-1022 proves to be extremely flexible. The routing options alone appear to be endless. I can't think of any other boards in this price range that offer you the amount of XLR mono and stereo inputs, the 1/4-inch mono and stereo inputs, the pair of tape in, tape out RCA inputs that provides such flexible routing. You can have inline stereo effects, you can have parallel effects, 2 sends per channel, 3-band EQ, not on just the first 4 tracks, but also on the 2 tape in and stereo send tracks. I mean, there's a lot here that you can do. Whether you're a YouTube sensation in the works, you're a podcaster, you're a home recording nut, or you're a DJ, whatever it is you're doing, the Cerwin Vega CVM-1022 will provide premium audio for years and years to come. I do a lot of things with audio. I run sound, I do a couple different things with it, in the professional audio world. I do acoustic nights, I do sound for a venue, I run sound for another band. And this little mixer is right at home, handling any task I throw at it. Again, it's not some, cheap do-it-all little USB mixer. This is professional grade stuff. And if you go and look at the price of the Cerwin Vega CVM-1022, you'll realize there's a lot of bang for the buck going on here. These things are about $100, maybe a little bit more, and they're so flexible, it's amazing. I say the Cerwin Vega CVM-1022 is absolutely perfect for podcasts, for Skype interviews, for live music, for running a monitor send chain or effects chains in a live setting, for small gigs, for DJs, acoustic nights, spoken word, wedding DJs, YouTube videos, doing the audio for your cameras. Whatever it is you need for audio, this thing can handle it, and with ease. It's an extremely quiet, well put together, well thought out, well made professional mixer. I love them. They don't take up much room on your desktop, and you don't have to worry if a part of your chain breaks. The show can still go on, and you can still make lovely music or audio, as it were, because you can just reroute things with ease. That's what I like about it. No USB, no FireWire. Everything, there's no included software to mess up your rhythm. I could go on and on. There's 1,000 uses for the Cerwin Vega CVM-1022. Listen, don't take it from me. Go to the nearest music store and give one of these things a whirl. You'll be impressed with the feel of the board, the flexibility, and the clean sound you get out of it. Thanks, guys, for your time. My name is Kern. I post home recording weekly, and you can head over to homerecordingweekly.com and download your free ebook on acoustic treatment made easy. Thanks for your time. Bye.